indiscriminate punching in the groin.
One of the great things about the open world games is the sandbox gameplay, and our philosophy with the whole over the top is, why let players just punch pedestrians when you can take them down by flying takedowns and punching them in the nuts,
and then strike a pose afterwards, which is really what makes it.
There's a certain unique blend of humor that is very indicative of the franchise, and it certainly comes off very well, we think, in this third iteration.
And just one of the things that makes it such delightful mayhem. Now, what we're watching here is a big length of excellent B-roll you guys have brought by. So we're going to sort of, if you folks have questions on what's going on, Greg's happy to answer them. If you want to know why did he just have giant fists? What was that blue dangly thing that he just put away?
Well, the whole philosophy is why give players a baseball bat? We can give them a giant phallic weapon. It's a lot more fun, again, hitting the over-the-top theme, fits in the universe.
Some fun physics at play, too.
Well, coming up here's something great. This section of the city is owned by the Luchadors, one of 3 gangs of the antagonists in the game. Well, first we're actually going to, meet with some of the citizens of Steelport.
Just have a local dance-off.
Yeah, we've got...
Because you don't always want to punch someone until they explode. Sometimes you want to dance.
Right, when they look like that. But you get a reward if you take these guys out. And then you could do it with an AK-47, but let's do it with calling in an airstrike.
Who says close air support is just for military conflicts?
It's we're giving players these types of weapons from the very beginning of the game. We think it fits. It's fun.
So right out the gate, people aren't going to have to wait too long to start going crazy.
Correct. I mean, it's like the start of Saints Row the Third. The Saints are at the top of their game. I mean, they're well-known celebrities. They've licensed out their image on lunchboxes, bobbleheads, tennis shoes, energy drinks. So they've got all this money and power. And contextually, for design, it makes sense that we give players these airstrikes and fun weapons right from the get-go. Sandbox gameplay is more fun when you have fun toys to play in.
That's absolutely true. And when you can just pick up and get to that fun stuff, you don't have to wait a huge long time. Now, I presume there will be some kind of progress throughout. You will get access to different stuff or new areas. Talk to me about how the game changes as you play.
Right. Okay. So the basic backstory is that there's this group called the Syndicate. The Syndicate is made up of 3 gangs. They are a conglomeration of very powerful gangs. They ask the Saints to join them. The Saints say, "No way. We want to be by ourselves." That creates the initial conflict. They kidnap the Saints, who bust out of their private jet and land in their city. It's called Steelport. Saints Row the Third takes place in a completely new city called Steelport. And the main setup is okay, the Saints are lost in Steelport. They need to figure out who the Syndicate are and take them out and show the world that Steelport belongs to the Saints, not the Syndicate.
And now while we're talking about Steelport, we actually have a question coming in from Edwin in Orlando, who wants to know about the relative size of Steelport versus Stillwater, the location for Saints Row 2.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about city size. It's always been interesting for me. We never set out and saying it needs to be X miles by X miles square. For us, the new tech, it's been does the city feel right for the game? We didn't want to create a city based on New York and retrofit gameplay in there. We had our level designers and our artists working together and make sure that the space that we created complemented the gameplay. So I honestly don't know how big it is. I will tell you that it's certainly big enough. You're going to see here, there's flying vehicles that can fly through it, and you're going to have more than enough area to explore.
Excellent. Now, we've got one player playing right now in the B-roll, but one of the great things about Saints Row 2 was drop-in, drop-out cooperative play.
Right.
Is that making a comeback in the third?
Absolutely. We think that model was, press and players alike really liked it. Seamless drop-in, drop-out. Come in anytime you want. We're not messing with it. We're making sure that is definitely a standout feature in Saints Row the Third.
And so far we've seen tanks. We've seen this hot car here. Luke from Wales wants to know if helicopters are back.
We have helicopters. It's very fortuitous that this question came in here right now.
What a timely question, Luke.
If driving's not your thing, we got flying vehicles. This is a VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing, equipped with laser beams, heat-seeking missiles. The great thing is you can switch between hover and jet.
Who wants a helicopter when you can have the Stag VTOL jet?
Look, press of a button, you'll go right into jet mode here. This thing's incredibly fun to fly.
And are we getting a glimpse now with these skyscrapers in the background of just how big Steelport is?
Yeah, exactly. That gives you, that's a skyline. Those are the hero buildings. These are those really tall hero buildings. Each one is owned by a gang in the Syndicate. You know, and what's great as far as customization goes, as you progress through the game, you'll be able to customize your own section of the city skyline, create your own stronghold, so you can create your own super skyscrapers at the edge of the island.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
And now, if you're creating your own skyscraper, do you have any artistic direction over those, perhaps to make them inspired by a favorite melee weapon?
No. Well, I think certain age ratings groups would think we were pushing things a little too far there. So the important thing is like you're able to select the different sizes, as well as we're combining function and form. So you'll get like a helicopter pad as part of your upgrade. You're laughing.
And now we're getting a couple of questions about, you know, how many different kinds of vehicles are in there. And we've talked about a couple, but then to see these preposterous get-ups, I mean, it seems almost, the question is, you know, hard to answer, because what is this giant cannon on the back of this?
This is Professor Genki's super ballistic manifold. You can suck up pedestrians and then shoot them out. And Professor Genki's a persona in the Steelport. In Steelport, he runs an underground activity called Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax Show. This is one of his vehicles. You can suck yourself up and shoot yourself out, as well as your co-op partner. These are the type of like over-the-top weapons that we think are very unique, not only to other video games, but even Saints Row 1 and 2.
Yeah, I can't say that a portable human catapult with a Cheshire Cat face is